ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್
ಸರ್ ಸರಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಆಡಿಯೋ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್, ತಮ್ದು ಆಡಿಯೋ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸುದರ್ಶನ್ ರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಸರ್, ತಮ್ದು ಆಡಿಯೋ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್.
10:50 ಲೈವ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್,
ಕೊಡತ್ಲೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ.
ಸರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಲೈವ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್.
10:50 ಲೈವ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್,
ಕೊಡತ್ಲೆ
audio sir.
ಪಂಕಜಾಕ್ಷಿ ಅವ್ರು ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
Yes sir.
ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಸರ್ ಬರ್ಲಿ.
ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ.
ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಂದು ಇಮೇಜ್ ದೇವ್ರದ್ದು ಇದನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ರಂಗಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅವರೇ? ಇವರು ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಂಕರ್ ಅವ್ರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ.
ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್, ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್, ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತೊಂದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಾಗ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು ಸರ್, ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಬಿ ಸರ್ ತಾವು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತೀರಾ, ನೀವು ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಇರಿ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಪಂಕಜಾಕ್ಷಿ ಅವರು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
Namaste sir.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Namaste. Ellarigu namaste. Shubhodaya. Good morning to one and all. I, Dr. Pankajakshi, Associate Professor from Department of Management Studies, VTU, extend a very warm welcome to all of you for today's event. That is VTU UHV Cell, which proudly presents monthly lecture series. Ivathiga, it has almost been a year VTU UHV Cell has started organizing lecture series. Universal human values are timeless principles like truth, integrity, compassion, and respect that serve as a foundation for ethical living and personal growth. Success in life is not merely about achieving external goals, but also about nurturing inner satisfaction and harmony. In this context, VTU has been regularly organizing UHV series. Universal human values bridges this gap, ensuring that success is achieved with integrity, empathy, and responsibility. We started the first lecture series on November 10, 2023. Lots of 6 lecture series have been delivered by eminent personality. University, followed by 6th lecture series that was held on October 10th by Hon'ble Suresh H. Jangamati Sir, Jangam Shetty Sir, Hon'ble Vice Chancellor, Haveri University, Haveri. Today, we are proudly hosting the 7th VTU UHV lecture series on human values and success in life, will be delivered by Shri N Narasimha Murthy, Hon'ble Chancellor, Shri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence. So success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. And we VTU proudly feel that we have enthusiasm and been encouraging all our students, the faculty, with the support of the authorities. The journey of education is going on. In this contest, may I invite Dr. H.R. Sudarshan Reddy, VTU UHV Coordinator and Regional Director in charge, VTU Bengaluru, who's been the one of the pillars in hosting this UHV lecture series, to deliver the welcome address. Over to Dr. H.R. Sudarshan Reddy, sir.
Thank you, madam. Ellarigu namaskaralu. Namaskaralu, sir. Respected dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very warm welcome to the 7th UHV online lecture. I would like to quote from the Nobel awardee, Sri Kailash Satyarthi. Value education is not just about imparting knowledge, but about shaping character and creating responsible citizens. Myself, Dr. Sudarshan Reddy HR, VTU UHV Coordinator and Regional Director of VTU, Bangalore region, feel extremely glad to welcome you all for the online lecture. On this occasion, we are honored to have the Honorable Chancellor of Sri Sathya Sai University of Human Excellence, Sri N Narasimha Murthy Sir, amongst us. Sir, I extend a very warm welcome to you on behalf of VTU. Sir, we are indeed thankful and grateful to you for making time for us in spite of your very busy schedule. Thank you, sir. We are honored to have our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Vidyashankar sir in absentia. Sir is the backbone and motivational force for all our UHV activities of VTU. Sir, I wholeheartedly welcome you to this online lecture in absentia. I extend my warm welcome to our Registrar, Dr. B.E. Rangaswamy sir, to this online lecture and request him to preside over the function. I also welcome Registrar Evaluation, Dr. Srinivas sir, and Finance Officer, Dr. Prashant Naik sir. I welcome all the principals, staff, and UHV coordinators of various colleges and VTU. Last but not least, I welcome all the students of various engineering colleges throughout Karnataka who have joined online through YouTube link. So finally, welcome you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for introducing the dignitaries to the audience. I take the privilege to welcome Dr. H.R. Sudarshan Reddy, sir, to today's program. Education is the most powerful weapon which one can use to change the whole world. in that step, VTU is proudly delivering a quality education for the lakhs of students all over the globe. May I invite our Honorable Registrar, Dr. B. Rangaswamy, sir, to give the opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Elrigu namaskara. Particularly respected N Narasimha Murthy sir, the Chancellor of Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence. A very noble personality and an esteemed avid writer and reader. And he's been mentoring many academicians in the country. And it's been almost more than 50 odd years. He's been serving with the Sathya Sai groups, mentoring them, guiding them. Not only Sathya Sai group, and of course, he is also a mentor to all of us. That's where I with so much, esteemed presence of him, will definitely impart a values and knowledge what is required as far as the UHV is concerned. Sir, welcome to VTU, sir, and then thank you so much for accepting our invitation to deliver a talk, particularly on human values and success in life, which is very, very important, particularly for our young students. Sir, it's been almost 7 years, as Sudarshan Reddy mentioned. This is the 7th lecture in a row, and each lecture helped the students to build their character, conduct, particularly as far as when they are young, as far as their career building process is concerned. And obviously, we know that universal human values helps not only building our morals, and even what I can say, it helps in developing what I can say, a globally challenging mindset. These values definitely help us to build our students who are socially responsible and globally competitive. That's where these values, imparting these values among youngsters is very, very important. That's a very noble way we are taking this into the next level, particularly in VTU under the dynamic leadership of Dr. S. Vidyashankar sir, because he said unless until we build a strong nation, how to build a strong nation, we need to build strong human force, and particularly the engineering force. They are the ones who are the nation builders, what you can say. So we need to impinge our impart the knowledge, particularly the values, particularly. So that's where this process, sir. So this is where, because conducting their character careers, we need to build, means this is where we must assure them. So values, imparting values to them youngsters is very, very important. In this process, VTU is been organizing such a wonderful program, particularly imparting human values among our young engineering graduates. I don't want to take much of the time, because we wanted to listen to the legendary speaker, particularly Dr. B.N. Narasimha Murthy sir. So with these few words, I request and urge all my faculty colleagues, particularly heads of various engineering colleges, principals, the deans, and even the mentors of UHV, the coordinators of the UHV cell of a college, to see that this will reach maximum number of students, because we need to see that values, if you see that students are growing with values, probably this is the nation will have a more success, as everybody talks about, by Vikasita Bharat, the developed country by 2047. We need to see the more developmental activities need to happen, means we need to see more values we need to transform to these youngsters. That's where we can see that is another goal of us, to see that the students are getting the values in their life and living very successful life. With these few words, I once again thank Narasimha Murthy sir and my coordinators for organizing this event. Over to Sudarshan Reddy.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Pankaj Jakshi, please.
Dhanyavadagalu, sir. Thank you for inspiring our students, and this journey of UHV BTU cell would do lots of wonders in making the students a better citizens and productive for the country. Thank you, Dr. Rangaswamy sir, for giving the opening remarks. So today we have among us an eminent personality, today's speaker, Shri B.N. Narasimha Murthy sir, Honorable Chancellor, Shri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence. A brief profile to you all. Shri B.N. Narasimha Murthy sir was born in the year 1945, has done as engineering and arts, history, political science and sociology B.E. with the Sanskrit language in Kodava, keenly interested in philosophy, literature, education, social service. Sir has dedicated full for over 4 decades under the direct guidance of Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Post to Mahasamadhi of Baba in 2011, Narasimha Murthy Sir sublime spiritual journey with Baba's spiritual mission has continued uninterrupted under the inspiration of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, a worthy spiritual heir to the great divine master. Sri Narasimha Murthy Sir has been instrumental in founding over 20 educational campuses in the rural hinterlands of Karnataka, including a private university, which was imparting completely free of cost, high quality value-based education to over 4,000 boys and girls. Currently, Sir is also the Chancellor of Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, Gulbarga, Karnataka. This is just a brief profile. Sir's profile runs into pages with various positions held as Director of Administrator, Loka Seva Vrinda. Sir has contributed for old age homes and been a warden at various hostel Vrindavan, Whitefield, and convener, and also a coordinator for establishing Sri Sathya Sai University campus at Mutenahalli. So Sir has been on the trustee board of trustees and also been instrumental in establishing new educational campuses, providing free education in rural areas of India, around 28 campuses. Sir has authored more than 3 books on the life and teaching of Sri Sathya Sai Baba. His books have been translated in more than 12 languages and has been there in national, international level and in various languages. It's really a honor and privilege to have you as our speaker for today's session, sir. So may I request and invite Sri B.N. Narasimha Murthy, sir, Honorable Chancellor, Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, to deliver the lecture on human values and success in life. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pankajakshi, for that very elaborate introduction. I would also like to compliment Professor V. Rangaswamy avaru and Dr. Sudarshan Reddy avaru for their very in joining engineering subject on which I am speaking, human values and success in life. I don't think there is a better example for you than Bharat Ratna Dr. M. Vishwesvaraya was born in this village from where I am speaking to you. It is his birthplace and also the last resting place of such a hallowed personality like Bharat Ratna Dr. M. Vishwesvaraya. He is an exemplar in both human values and in achieving great success in life. Discipline, these were something very, very exemplary for everyone. Absolutely exemplary. And see, also I would like to remember 2 more divine personalities who are associated with Mudanalli and our institutions, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Definitely nobody can say that they were not successful or they are not successful. Most successful people, and not only they practiced human values in their lives, they are propagating and they have propagated all over the world and they have followers for more than 80 countries in the world. My salutations to them also. Now, coming to understand what is success in life is very important. See, these days, when success is measured by the quantum of money or wealth that one amasses, we need to understand that that is not the correct yardstick. Not even positions of authority, power, not even name and fame. There is something more to success than just wealth, power, position, name, and fame. From that point of view, I would like to give you an example from life. It's a life example, real anecdote in life. In 2012, in Spain, there was international cross-country race. You understand that cross-country race is not like any other normal running race or things like that. There is no fixed track. You start from one place and your destination is known to you. You have to run straight. See, that is the kind of cross-country race. And generally it is 5,000 meters race. And 5,000 meters race, if you can complete below 20 minutes, that is something. It is not like 100-meter dash, which you complete in few seconds. You keep running for minutes. And there are cross-country races which are conducted even for 10,000 meters. Here, I am mentioning this because something very, very amazing happened in this race. See, generally, when anybody enters a race, the intention is to win the gold medal, especially at the international level. You want to win the honor for the country and honor for yourself. And definitely you would deem that to be the success. And here what happened was, there was one athlete from Kenya, Hon'ble Vice, running. He was way ahead of everybody else. And the next person was from Spain, Ivan Fernandez. He was there. He was following actually. But it so happened that Hon'ble Vice, he thought he had already reached the destination, and therefore he relaxed and started moving slowly. See, people were there who were clapping. He thought he had already won the race. But Ivan Fernandez understood what had happened. He shouted in Spanish language, because that was his language. He shouted, see, Mutai, keep running. You have not yet reached the destination. But Mutai did not understand Spanish, therefore he still relaxed. But what Ivan Fernandez did was something very, very exemplary. What happened was, people were egging on him. They were urging him, you are from Spain, Spain should get the gold medal, because most of the spectators were from Spain. They were telling him, run and get the first prize. But what Ivan Fernandez did was, he went, pushed this Kenyan athlete, Hon'ble Vice, to the first place, so that Hon'ble Vice got the first prize, and Ivan Fernandez, he got the second prize. You see that illustration on the screen. And later on, when journalists interviewed Ivan Fernandez, because he had got only silver medal, and there was an opportunity for him to get the gold medal, but he didn't take that opportunity. And therefore, many of these journalists questioned him. See, you could have got the gold medal for Spain. Why did you not do it? He tried to explain, see, Hon'ble Vice should get the first prize, because you're way ahead of me. You only should get the first prize. But no, because of you, Spain lost the gold medal. But still, he said, no, what I have done is the right thing. Why did you not take the first place? Journalist asked. He said, I could not have slept for many days. My conscience would not have forgiven me. And my mother would be terribly disappointed with me. And my father would never look at my face. See, that is why I had to do it. I am happy with the second prize. That's what he said. Therefore, after listening to this real life anecdote, you get definitely provoked to ask yourself the question, what is true success? What is real success? Is it getting the gold medal? Therefore, ruminating over this incident, we do understand that more than what you achieve outside you, so getting a gold medal is outside you, but you are not being able to sleep for many days is inside you. Therefore, total success or complete success, real true success, I think I can give you a formula, is total success, true success equals maximum achievement and recognition in the outside world plus the greatest inner satisfaction and inner happiness. That is true success in life. So as young boys and girls, you have now entered the university for the first time in your life, just now finished your schooling, and you should understand what is real success. After 50 years, 60 years, you look back at your own life and see whether you have really achieved success. Naturally, you have to look at both the things, what you have achieved in the world, whether it is commensurate with the potential, your talent, and your ability. That is the first question. The second is, are you really happy with what you have achieved? Because there are many successful people in the world. From outside, they look successful. They have earned a lot of money, very rich people. They are billionaires, and they are in positions of authority and enjoy a lot of power. And in my long life of 80 years, I've interacted with many such noted personalities. I found that many of them are not really happy. In spite of all the outer achievements, inside themselves, they are not happy. Therefore, you have to always ask the question, and also we know cases, very notorious cases, where so-called successful people, in terms of external achievement, they have committed suicide also. Therefore, we should always keep in front of us this goal that I have to do my best. And naturally, the formula is given. You earn knowledge, skills, you develop passion, do hard work, and develop creativity and innovation, you can be successful in the world. Definitely, without these things, you can't achieve everything in the world, what you are capable of at least. But just that alone is not enough. There is another X factor which comes into the picture. And now I want to tell you something about this. How do we achieve complete success in our lives? One is my external achievement, and second is inner happiness, peace of mind, and satisfaction. How do I achieve both? Here I would like to quote Isaac Asimov, a prolific writer on science and ethics. He said, the saddest part of our times is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. See, this is what he said. See, if knowledge is not balanced by wisdom, definitely there is going to be a tragedy. And today, the world is wealthiest in terms of both material resources and also knowledge. The world was never so knowledgeable as we are today. And there is so much of wealth. But in spite of that, are people happy? Where the world is moving in the right direction, the kind of violence, conflict, despair that fill the minds of people, young people getting depressed, and this is the situation we are looking at. Therefore, we need to understand knowledge and skills can give us success in the outside world. You may achieve things with knowledge and skills, passion, hard work, creativity, and innovation. But for having inner satisfaction or real happiness, true peace of mind, you need to have wisdom. And what is this wisdom? Wisdom, in simple terms, is practicing values. See, that's what we need to understand. This exactly the same thing was told by the celebrated philosopher, British philosopher, Bertrand Russell also. He said, knowledge is power, no doubt, but it is power for both good and evil. If knowledge is not balanced by wisdom, it will become knowledge only for evil, leading the whole of mankind into misery. That's what he pointed out. Therefore, we need to have both knowledge and wisdom. But unfortunately, in today's educational system, wisdom is not taught in schools and colleges, and there is great stress only on intellectual development, only in academic excellence, only on professional excellence, and definitely there is no yardstick for measuring whether our students in the university, our students in our schools are growing up as wise children, as wise youth. So this is one thing. And at this point of time, I would like to definitely compliment the Vidyashankar Technological University for exposing their students, at least the first year students. Definitely they are going to continue till the final year, and to the human values. And I also saw that very eminent personality have spoken to you, and that is most wonderful. Once again, compliments to the office bearers, the Vice Chancellor of the Vidyashankar Technological University. And then it is not only that, the wisdom, when you practice values in your life, you will definitely enjoy supreme satisfaction. You will enjoy inner happiness, and you will also have peace of mind. It is not just that. I told you about X factor, which enters into the law of success. That X factor is nothing but your own self-confidence. When you practice values, you don't feel guilty. And therefore, you are living in complete harmony with yourself, and that gives you great self-confidence. And that also gives you another very important thing which is required for success in the external world. If you look at the greatest achievers and successful people in the world, you find them, they had more than instinct and intelligence, they had intuition, the power of intuition. This power of intuition can be cultivated only with practice of values. Therefore, that is why the values are very, very important. And that is why it is DVG, Divi Gundappa in Kannada, he said, Hale Beru, Hosa Chiguru, Kudiralu, Mara Sobugu. Hale Tattva, Hosa Yakti, Yadugude Dharma. Rushi Vakya Dodane, Vijnana, Kale, Melavise, Jasavu, Janajivaneke, Mankutimma. See, the wisdom is ancient. In every culture, in every civilization, this wisdom is there, it was there. It is an ancient thing. And science and technology are modern. Both the modern science and technology and the ancient wisdom are required if you have to achieve complete success in life. That is very important. And what prevents us from practicing values? This is a very important question. Before that, what are human values? Here, I would like to bring to your attention another real life incident which has been narrated by T.N. Seshan. Late T.N. Seshan was the very famous Election Commissioner of India, an IAS officer, achieved great success in his life. And I met him personally and interacted with him. he is coming to meet Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. He narrates an incident in his life. As an election commissioner, once he was in Uttar Pradesh and he was traveling through the countryside with his wife, and there were police people who accompanied him as his security. Somewhere they stopped because it looked so serene and very peaceful and very beautiful it looked. They got down and his wife saw two big nests, bird nests on the tree nearby. She told her husband, see, better we take this nest home. It will be a good decoration in our home. TN station, he called the policeman and said, please get those two nests for us. And the police, they were quite high on a tree and they could not climb up the tree. Therefore, they found a boy who was grazing cows nearby. He called him and said, can you get those nests? He straight away said, no. TN station was there. He said, I'll give you 10 rupees. Can you get it? I will not get it. I'll give you 100 rupees. Will you get it? I will not get it. And he also said, even if you give me 1,000 rupees, I'm not going to get. Session was really surprised. A poor villager, his clothes are torn, and he's grazing the cows. When somebody gives 100 rupees, also he's not ready to get those nests down. He asked him, why? He said, don't talk, listen what is happening. What you listen from these two nests. There are baby birds. You can hear their sounds, right? And their mothers have gone out to fetch food for these babies. And when they come back in the afternoon, getting the food, if these nests are not found, what will happen? You have to imagine the misery of those two mother birds. I can't bear to see that. Therefore, even if you give me anything in the world, I'm not going to do it. TN Session was shocked. Naturally, there was reason for getting shocked. He is a highly educated IAS officer. Here is an uneducated rustic boy, and he found that the kind of sensitivity he had, for the animals, forget about human beings, the birds, Session did not have. He wondered within himself, what has education taught me? That boy is not educated. See, one side, there is education without values. On the other side, there are values and no education. And he said, I felt so guilty about it, and I can never forget that incident. That's how he narrated. Therefore, what are values? Dayave dharmada moola vaya was said by our Baswanda. It is compassion. In fact, I would like to refer to 4 questions which were asked by celebrated Chinese philosopher Lao Tse 2000 years ago, more than 2000 years ago. He asked 4 questions. What is sacred in life? The second question, what is Tao or the cosmic spirit or God made of? Third question, what is worth living for? Fourth question, what is worth dying for? These 4 questions he asked. And he said there is only one answer to all the 4 questions. That answer is selfless love, which expresses itself as empathy and compassion, as help and service. See, this is what he said. Therefore, the root of all values is selfless love. Love with a capital L, because, generally it is misunderstood. It is not Bollywood love. It is absolute selfless love which can emanate from the hearts of human beings, which can engulf the whole world, the world of men and also all creatures, all beasts, all birds. And that is the root of all the human values. We need to understand that. What is sacred in life is compassion. What is God made of is compassion. What is worth living for is selfless love. What is worth dying for is selfless love. So that is the root of all the values. Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba said, love in thought is truth. Love in thought is truth. Love in action is right conduct, dharma. Love in truth, prema in thought is satya or truth. Love in action is right conduct or dharma. Love in feeling is peace, shanti. Love in understanding is non-violence, ahimsa. These 5 are the major values. Of course, there are many other values like integrity. I mean, we saw the integrity of Ivan Fernandez, that athlete. This integrity is being true to yourself. And integrity comes under truth. We can call all of them as sub-values. And 5 major values are Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema and Ahimsa. And all other are, we may call them sub-values. They come under any one of these major values. And these are basically, we can say that these are the values. These are the values which need to be practiced. Then how do we practice human values? That is the very pertinent question, because you may know about all the human values. I may be able to quote the greatest of the prophets, the divine personalities. But if I don't practice in my life, it's of absolutely no use, not only for me and for the world. So how do we practice human values? The first step is we should understand that there are what are called natural instincts in us, innate natural instincts, which lead us to behave in a particular way or in a fixed behavioral patterns. They are dictated by our instincts. And if we can control these instincts, if we can regulate to some extent these instincts with power of discrimination, which is given to only human beings, only then we can practice the human values. And here we find that what are these basic natural instincts? Self-survival, self-preservation, and then sense gratification and self-indulgence. The third is self-gain and self-importance. The fourth is self-assertion and self-domination. These are basic natural instincts in every human being. These are the things which make us self-centered. These are the things which make us selfish. And therefore, many times, in times of temptation, in spite of our knowing what is right and what is wrong, we take to wrong ways. Most of the times, it so happens that the temptations are so strong, we know that doing that is wrong, but we do it very helplessly, do it. And so that is why Mark Twain, the American writer, said, I have given up smoking 100 times. It is very easy to give up smoking, and I have given up smoking 100 times, he said. See, this is the human predicament. Therefore, it is very, very important that we are able to regulate our instincts. All of us definitely regulate our instinct to some extent. Animals cannot do it unless they're trained specially. On their own, they cannot do it. Instinct comes, immediately they do. See, for example, recently we went on a safari in the Kabni forest. Along with me was my young friend, Shashank. And we saw a lot of elephants, grazing. And we stopped our jeep and were looking on. Suddenly, one elephant started excreting also simultaneously. One side it is eating, one side it is excreting. And Shashank said, see, sir, animals cannot control their instincts, but you and I can do it. Whatever the situation, you and I can do it. We do control our instincts to some extent, Otherwise, we can't be a part of the society. Those who cannot control their instincts will become antisocial elements. But for controlling the instincts, it's just knowledge is not enough. What is good and what is bad is not enough. We need to develop willpower. See, this is very important. The human predicament was well depicted when Duryodhana, the villain of Mahabharata, said, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. Janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi. I know what is good, but I don't have the willpower to practice good all the time. I know what is right. I can't take to the right path always because I don't have willpower. I also know what is wrong, but I don't have the willpower to avoid the wrong path all the time. See, this is the real human predicament. Therefore, we need to cultivate willpower, a certain control over mind. Because both Professor Rangaswamy Avaru and Dr. Sudarshan Reddy Avaru speaking about character. See, what is character? Character is the ability to do the right thing in all situations, under all temptations and provocations. The ability to do the right thing comes to you only if you can exercise some control over your mind and senses, and willpower needs to be cultivated. Then how do we cultivate willpower? See, that's a very important thing. We need to understand the human personality. There are 5 levels from which human beings can derive happiness. The first is the lower physical level, which is our biological demands, our biological desires. Ahara, Nidra, Baya, and Maithuna. See, these things are fundamental things actually, and their biological instincts. Ahara, Nidra, Baya, and Maithuna are the biological demands of the body. That is the lower physical level happiness. Definitely there is happiness in eating, or definitely there is happiness, some happiness, at least temporary happiness, in fulfilling the desires that the body wants, the biological desires. But there is higher physical happiness, like in physical culture, sports, yoga, games. That is the higher physical level. And the third is the emotional level you can derive happiness. Fourth is the intellectual level where you can derive happiness. And the final is the spiritual level, which is the treasure of infinite happiness, infinite joy, and bliss within yourself. These are the 4 levels. What we need to do is we have to slowly rise. Rather than getting our happiness only from the lower physical happiness, you can rise to the next higher level. See, that is where we sublimate our desires. You replace a lower desire with a higher desire. See, for example, there is a young boy who is addicted to drugs, say. Because he is addicted to drugs, his life is already there, gone. Physically, he is getting weaker and he can't focus on anything. And parents are very miserable. And suppose, you can ignite him. See, rather than, deriving all your joy from the drugs, can we go and watch a cricket match? See, Indian players, all the great players have come. Can we go and watch a cricket match? That is a higher pleasure. Can we play a game? Can we build up the body? Don't you want to look handsome or beautiful? Can we go to the gym? Therefore, this is a higher level of happiness. Therefore, we have to replace our lower desires with higher desires. Thereby, we can sublimate our desires. That gives us willpower. To keep doing the right thing all the time, your willpower increases. To keep doing the wrong thing, even after knowing that it is the wrong thing, your willpower decreases. Therefore, we need to rise higher. Also, emotional happiness. In literature, reading great classics in any language, Sanskrit, there are most wonderful classics of literature, which give you great joy. Poetry is there. And even English writers, Russian writers. It was Albert Einstein who said that whenever I am depressed, I take up one book. That book is the novel Karamazov Brothers, written by Dostoevsky, the Russian writer, he said. See, that is, you can get emotional happiness. Listen to good music, you get emotional happiness. You go to the lap of nature, look at the beauty of nature, you get emotional happiness. See, these things can sublimate your desires rather than always yielding to biological demands. Sometimes I play, young boys and girls, balastavat, krida saktaha, we need not have to explain that. Left to themselves, they would like to play all the time. Good food, playing, that will be very, very happy for all the boys and girls. Then emotional happiness, and then come to intellectual happiness. You are seriously interested, say, in electrical engineering. I am an electrical engineer. And so much research is happening. There are so many frontier areas, artificial intelligence. You can derive happiness there also. If you are immersed in doing your job, your profession with complete shraddha, sincerity, there is great joy. Therefore, you derive happiness from higher physical level, from emotional level, intellectual level. Definitely they will give you willpower. But the greatest willpower is given to you by spirituality, at the spiritual level. But what has happened today is, spirituality is the most misunderstood term. That's what people think. One myth about spirituality, with even educated people think or believe, is that if you become spiritual, you become a religious fanatic. I would like to tell you, with or without religion, you can practice spirituality. In fact, spirituality is the essence of all the religions. It is the inner core of all the religions, which can unite all the religions. But what happens, generally people don't look at that, and they turn into bigots, they turn into fanatics, without really understanding what is the spiritual experience, what is spirituality. And see, that's where the problem is. Then what is spirituality? I would like to give you two examples, real life examples. One is Srinivasa Ramanujan. All of you know about him, the great mathematical genius who contributed so much to the field of mathematics. And he actually, what was happening with him, he was getting instant answers to all the questions. Once all of you would know his story. Otherwise, please study his biography, The Man Who Knew Infinity, written by Robert Kanigel. He has written this book. It also came out as a film, very beautiful film. I have also watched that film. And it was Professor Hardy from Cambridge University who recognized his genius and took him there. And he was attending classes, Srinivasa Ramanujan. A professor was taking a class. He gave a very complicated problem to all the students. You work on this and get the solution. Srinivasa Ramanujan was just looking here and there, and the professor went to him and saw in his book he had already written the answer. He was really shocked. It would take for any genius at least 10 minutes to solve that problem. But here was Srinivasa Ramanujan, he had already written down the answer. And he went back to his chair, sat down, and asked Srinivasa Ramanujan to get up. This is there in the film, you can see this. And he asked him, you already found the solution? Yes, sir. What is the solution? He enunciated the solution. You come here and write it on the blackboard. There were no smart boards those days. And he came and wrote. He said, how did you get this? Ramanujan said, I don't know. Professor got very angry. He threw him out of the class. And even Professor Hardy was many times astonished. For example, I'll give a simple example. With the permission of Professor Rangaswamy Garu, I would like to take a few more minutes. Professor Hardy once visited Srinivasa Ramanujan, who was in the hospital. And when he went there, see, generally both are men of mathematics. They were interested in numbers. Professor Hardy told Srinivas Ramanujan, I came by a taxi which had the number 1729. Very uninteresting number. Immediately, Srinivas Ramanujan was lying down on the bed. He said, it's a very interesting number. What is the interesting number? It is the smallest number, which is the sum of two cubes, which can be expressed in two ways. That's what he said. How is it? 1729 equals is 10 cubed plus 9 cubed. And also 12 cubed plus 1 cube is also 1729. He was stunned. He asked him, how did you get it? He said, I don't know. In fact, it is not that he did not know. He was wondering whether if he told how he got it, people would not believe him. How did it happen? He was devoted to goddess Lakshmi and Lord Narasimha since his childhood. His parents had instilled that devotion and love for God. Every time he got into some situation where he did not find it, of course, he was a mathematical genius. The help always came from Lord Narasimha. So there is a detailed story, you can read the book. But what is very important to note is this belief in a higher power which rules over this wonderful, baffling universe. You need a creator for everything. For a small table, you need a creator. A pen, you need a creator. Such wonderful universe, is there not a creator? He is definitely there. We need, when you are devoted to God, you get infinite strength. More importantly, inner satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. And balance of mind in ups and downs of life, that comes to you very easily. Therefore, one aspect of spirituality is definitely this belief, faith in God, a superior power, a higher power which governs the universe. The second is, you take, for example, Mother Teresa. When she was only 38 years old, she was a very successful teacher in a convent, and she had decided to be a nun. And suddenly it so happened, one day she decided to leave the convent and walk into the streets, because once she was traveling in a train going to Darjeeling, it so happened that she found a man suffering with nobody around him. And she says she saw Jesus in him. Therefore, there was an inner prompting. I should not be teaching all my life. I should get into the streets of Kolkata and find the most miserable people, the downtrodden, poorest of the poor, and I should shelter them. And she took that decision and followed the path. And finally, how much success she achieved in the world. She got Nobel Peace Prize. She was honored with Bharata Ratna, and she has been made a saint by the Roman Catholic Church. All this happened. Here we can see this gives another aspect to spirituality, that is compassion and service. There are two aspects of spirituality. One side is devotion to God, or it is the same coin with two faces. Devotion to God, other is compassion. If somebody says, I can't believe in God, I don't want to believe in God, I am an atheist, no problem. Take to the other side. Take to compassion, take to service, you are practicing spirituality. Therefore, this is what is spirituality. And finally, I would like to conclude. Of course, spirituality is a vast ocean. And the goal of spirituality is to make you realize that you are God himself. You are not anybody else other than God. So that is quite far away. Let us practice these simple values like faith in God, love for God, surrender to God, which gives you great strength. That was the strength of Mahatma Gandhi. And very successful people, in the world also are very spiritual. Take, for example, Steve Jobs. All of you know about him. He was in India when he was a very boy of 18 years. He lived in a monastery, Buddhist monastery. He studied about Zen Buddhism. He developed powers of intuition. And he went back and became such a successful person. And he says intuition is more powerful than human intelligence. That is what he says. Finally, I would like to conclude with the last shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the formula for success in life. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanuddaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayor Bhutihi Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. What does it say? This is actually said by Sanjaya, who was reporting to Dhritarashtra what was happening on the battlefield. He had that kind of powers, like live telecast. He was seeing what was happening, sitting in Senavati, in the palace by the side of King Dhritarashtra. He was seeing what was happening. He was reporting. Finally, Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya, his minister, a question: who is going to win this war? He didn't want to answer because he knew who was going to win the war. Because Dhritarashtra would be displeased if he says that Kauravas, his sons, are going to lose the war. He just said this particular thing. He said, wherever there is Lord Krishna and his grace, and wherever there is Partha or Arjuna who is ready to exert himself with bow in hand, there is going to be victory, there is going to be wealth, there is going to be steady policy. This is what he said. In fact, that is the story of our Muddenalli Sathya Sai Grama, from where I am speaking to you. I think now I have got to conclude. Thank you very much for your opportunity given to me. Inspiring young people with idealism is very, very close to the heart of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. I am following their footsteps. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We really feel honored to your session on human values and success of life. Success in life. So, real success is equal to maximum achievement in the outside world plus maximum inner happiness and satisfaction. Today, we are in this technological world where people are more towards the basic, biological desires. Apart from that, there are other desires also. You have told in your lecture, sports, yoga can make a person mentally, physically stable. Emotional stability is needed in an individual, along with intellectual and spiritual stability, where happiness comes with the spirituality that is really put across well with the beautiful, practical lifetime experiences you have shared, sir. That was highly grateful of you to have shared about Mother Teresa, Ramanujam's experience, which few of us also have not heard about it or seen about it, sir. And for an individual, knowledge is power. Using it in a right track and practice values can lead to self-confidence. Overall, no words, sir, what to say with your talk. Really, most of us are inspired. More than 30,000 subscribers are watching live on YouTube, plus 220 colleges all over Karnataka. Apart from that, internationally also, people are watching live in the classrooms with one camera, and they have sent a token of appreciation and their acknowledgement to have heard your lecture today, sir, along with the photographs we have received. That was very kind of you. So with this, balance of mind is also essential to lead a happy life. Feel very honored and blessed to have your session today, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanking the sir for Honorable Shri N Narasimha Murthy sir for sharing his knowledge and experience to meet the challenges, not only to meet the challenges and also as an individual to lead a successful life. What are the basic things one need to take care of? So we have come to this end of today's UHV series lecture session. So gratitude is a way of thanksgiving and appreciation in return for the support and honoring one's virtue. Saying thank you is more than good manners. I take this opportunity to thank today's speaker, Shri B.N. Narasimha Murthy, Hon'ble Chancellor, Shri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, for delivering this wonderful session on human values and success in life. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to thank our Hon'ble Vice Chancellor, Shri Vidyashankar ji, sir, B.Tech Belagavi, for their constant valuable support and guidance in organizing such events and programs under the VTU umbrella. Thanking the Hon'ble Vice Chancellor, sir, in his absence here. I take this opportunity to thank our Registrar, Dr. B. Rangaswamy, sir, B.Tech Belagavi, for giving the opening remarks. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to thank our authorities, Dr. T. N. Srinivas, Registrar Evaluation VTU, and Dr. Prashant Nayak, Finance Officer VTU, for their consistent support. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to thank all the regional directors, principals of affiliated colleges, chairpersons, special officers, UHV coordinators, program coordinators, head of the departments, faculty members, technical team of VTU e-Learning Center, Mysuru, non-teaching administrative staff, and the today's beneficiary, dear students, the participants of today's event, for gracing the occasion with your valuable presence. Thank you one and all for being the part of today's UHV event. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. H.R. Sudarshan Reddy, sir, UHV Coordinator and Regional Director, VTU Bengaluru, for hosting this event, for giving an opportunity for the students to be part of hearing the session from Dr. Narasimha Murthy, sir, the Hon'ble Chancellor. It was indeed a privilege and honor to be a part of the session. Hope to see you again, coming back soon with lots of other series from eminent personalities on this UHV series. I, Dr. Pankajakshi, Associate Professor and UHV member of VTU, want to say thank you to everyone who has been a part of today's program. Thank you one and all. Shubhodaya, Shubhadina, Shubhavagale. Ellarigu Namaskaralu. Thank you, sir. With the permission of the dignitaries.
Thank you, sir. Narasimha Murthy, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.